Hi guys, this is Lilac Spectrum here again with another video. Now of course I'm wearing the same clothes as I wore last week just because I'm filming another video on the same day. So basically I'm going to be reviewing a book today, which has been a long time since I did a book actually. But it's The Heir by Kiera, which I talked about in last week's video. And while I was reading this book, which I love the selection, while I was reading this book I kind of wrote some notes down, just things that kind of annoyed me, things that I liked, and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that. But first I'm going to talk about the actual cover. Now the cover follows the same kind of concept as the other books in the selection did, where it's a girl on this pretty background with this beautiful dress on, and I always love the covers for these books. These are the other ones. I don't know if you can tell what those are like, but they're beautiful. The first one that's called The Selection, she had like a blue dress on, and then The Elite had a red dress on, and then the one had a white dress on, which is beautiful. This girl's got almost like a grayish, purplish kind of dress on, and it's gorgeous. Now this is, the story is the fourth one in the series, but technically it's this kind of own series, which kind of confuses me as why she keeps it in the same series, but anyway. It's about their daughter, Princess Adeline, or Adeline, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, how she's going to find a match through the same process, the selection. Now, of course, the only reason why she's doing the selection is to keep the people in the kingdom's mind off of the growing rage against the monarchy. So basically, it's kind of like similar to the first one, where they were having a lot of different things, like riots were going on a lot. Even though they kind of just did a selection for him anyway, it wasn't necessarily just for that. But for this one, they actually admitted that this is just to kind of keep the public like calm and not want to riot. We're not even worried if you find a mate. We just want to keep them calm while we think of some ideas. So I thought that was kind of weird that even though the father and the mother, like, you know, so I'm not going to date another one, but if I was in that situation, I would not be asking anybody anything, because everybody in the kingdom knows that the selection is for this process. You're not supposed to date one person. You're supposed to date them all, find out who's a good match and who's not. With this book, I feel like Adeline is taking on her dad's role in the selection process, but she's kind of like her mom with her attitude. But her attitude, in my opinion, is worse, actually. Because, I mean, at least her mom was like, well, I don't really want to do this, but I'll try it. And she was kind of against it the whole first book and like half of the second one. But, you know, Adeline is like for a good 90% of the, well, maybe not 90, but a good 70% of the book, she's just there to appease her parents. And I guess, you know, she's a queen, or a queen to be, and that's what queens have to do. They have to give up some stuff to get some other stuff in return, and that's okay. But I feel like her attitude was really bad. Like, she's like, I don't need a man. And I get that. You don't need a man. But, like, your parents need your help. Help them. You know, they helped you. So, I don't know. Her attitude is just really kind of sour throughout the whole book. And I didn't really like that. Even though I did like the book. And I like the concept of having a girl be the one that chooses this time. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like there was a good plot there, but I don't know. I feel like the plot was really minced up and a lot of copycat. The main character, Adeline, is very immature. She wants to be an adult, but then she is given adult situations and she acts like a child about it. You know, it's almost like she stomps her foot. You know, she goes out into the parade and gets food thrown at her, and of course, you know, the guys are kind of helping shield her and all that, but as soon as she gets back to the castle, she's like, oh, you know, like, stop, it's okay, people are mad about something, there's something going on in the kingdom, and it's almost like she's like, I'm the queen, and she's like shielding her eyes to the reason people are actually rioting. You know, and I'm not saying riots are always good. I don't think you should riot at all. But in this book, they had good reasons to riot. They had a good reason. They were explaining like the riots and why they were rioting and stuff like that. And, you know, they don't want a monarchy anymore. Then don't have a monarchy anymore. I mean, you know, I know it's easier said than done. Like, what would you do if you don't have a monarchy? I mean, you could go back to presidents, like, you know, because this is supposedly America in the way future. So, I mean, I get that stuff, and I get the whole idea of that, but there were reasons they were mad at the kingdom. Now, of course, they don't have to take it out on Adeline or Adeline or whatever, but it's a part of just being a part of being queen and princess, you're gonna get crap for it. And I don't know, I feel like her brother, what he did, which I'm not gonna say what he did, but it was right, because she feels like everything's about her, and she's really bratty. I mean, she's, in my opinion, she's very bratty. She has her good points, and she does, I feel like, make me go soft in the heart for her because of things she says and how she handles, like, Henry and Eric and stuff like that, which I kind of think she's going to get with Eric. I'm saying it now before I finish anything, before I start the next book. I think she's going to get with Eric. But she keeps saying, I want to be an independent woman, and I want to be strong, and I want people to stop looking at me like I'm a kid. And then she goes out and acts like a kid, and acts like a damsel in distress, and it's like, you're kind of saying one thing and doing a whole nother thing, and it just, ugh. I hate when people write a strong princess lead and then they don't go through with the actual lead, and I don't know, it's kind of frustrating book when it comes to that. So if that frustrates you, you might not like it. I feel like with the mom, when she was going through the process, the selection, all that, she was being hard-headed because she really wanted it. And I don't feel like Adeline really wanted it until about the last couple of chapters in the book. So now I feel like she does want it by reading the ending, but I don't feel like she really wanted it most of the book. And she keeps saying she didn't want it. And she's telling these guys, I don't want it. Or, you know, and she's getting all this flack in the reports and all that, and they're saying, oh, she doesn't want it, this is just a sham. People are calling her out on it. She's like, no, it's not. And it's like, you're making it seem like you don't want it, and then you're physically not wanting it, and then people report that you don't want it, and you're mad about that. So, I don't know, there was a lot of discrepancies with this character. I don't know. Maybe it's just, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to talk about that at the last bit, what I think. Ian also makes a pact with her, which is very cliched, because if I remember correctly, they did it out in the gardens, and if I remember correctly in the selection, the mom did that with the dad. Did this not already happen? It's like we just recycled the selection and brought it back. The mom made a pact with the dad. Don't send me away. Give my parents and family money so they can live off of it, and I'll help you find your match. And Ian's like, well, don't send me away. I'll marry you, and I'll be everything a king needs to be for you, and you don't have to go through this anymore. Even though it's a different kind of pact, it's still the idea of making a pact in the garden, you know, in the same situation. It kind of like, what? Deja vu. And then, like, one of my last couple of points is, having new ideas with a new book is a must. I know sometimes you're going to recycle some ideas, that's okay, but I feel like there were a lot of ideas that were recycled in this book, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be new, a new concept. Just giving me the opposite of the selection is not enough for me to get hooked on a book. Now, at the end, there was a very cliched kind of ending to it, which was annoying, because I kind of saw that coming. Just because of the fact that her father did the same thing to her when she was in the selection. We won't talk about that. Spoiler. But I just don't feel like there were any real new ideas with this book. I feel like everything was just kind of like recycled and changed just a bit. And like I said, I ended up really enjoying the book towards the end, but towards the beginning I was like, what? And I didn't know how to feel about it. I was like, you know, so I hope the next book will be good. I hope there won't be any cliches. I hope there won't be any more recycled. It's kind of like when you think about a ghost. It's like the remnants of an emotion or something like that. That's what they always say. This book was a ghost of the selection. It was. The Heir was definitely a ghost of the selection. And that's sad. Because I really did like it. And then towards the end, or maybe midpoint, there were a lot of guys getting into fights, and there were a lot of guys doing this and that and the other, and they were getting eliminated quickly to move the plot faster. And if you need to do that, maybe you should be writing a book with so many characters, because it's almost like Kiera Cass kind of just had 40 or 50 characters, 35 guys she had to quickly eliminate, because I think this is only a 2-book series. She had to quickly eliminate a bunch of characters, and so she had them act out and act stupid, and it's like, you don't have to do that. Nobody did that in the selection. Anyway, so I just didn't feel like that was a very effective technique to get all these guys. It's kind of like when you're in the horror movie and there are a lot of characters and they don't need that many characters, so they just kill them all off at once. And that's how it felt. I felt very forced, very fake, and I didn't like that. You know, that's just my opinion. I mean, this book has been kind of a flop, in my opinion. Even though it's had some good points, I feel like it's kind of flopped in others. And I don't know, it's like Kiera Cass kind of lost her momentum with this book. She wrote 3 great books, got to this one is like, ooh, and just kind of lost that momentum. Not saying it was a bad book. I wouldn't say this is the worst book I've ever read, because it's not. But I don't know, I just feel like she kind of lost that momentum. And that's just my opinion. Also, like I said, you know, the whole cliched ending, how it kind of ends the same way as one of the other selection books. And it's like, again, with this, and it's just like, I don't know, stop using the same techniques. I mean, I get it. Those worked with the first one, but people want new stuff. And, I mean, I'm not trying to bag on her, because she did a good job writing so many characters. But I just feel like it could have been better, my opinion, of course. And also, another thing that I wanted to talk about was when one of the guys lays his hand on her. Back to the whole wants to act like a strong, independent woman. You know, that's kind of childish how she said that. Don't you ever lay your hands on me, blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, I get that guy was acting out and he wasn't supposed to be touching her and da-da-da-da. That's fine. I get that. But you don't have to blame every other guy for one guy's misdeed. He was trying to get her mad because he liked her when she was mad. And, you know, that's a little childish too. But, come on now. You don't have to blame every guy for his mistake. And what would you think about the Heir? Maybe you liked it. Maybe you hated it as well. Leave it below. I don't hate it, but, you know, leave it all below. You can also find all the social medias below if I didn't just say that. And I don't know when I'll be reviewing another book. Hopefully it'll be soon, but who knows with my schedule. So, I will definitely be trying to review the next one. And maybe the next one will make up for this one. I don't know. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!